Hey, what's going on, Pats Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Ken's Pats Talk Patriots podcast. Here today, man, it's Tuesday, man. We are about less than 24 hours away from the first training camp practice of the 2024 season. And let's go ahead and get started, man. I got my boy on Stats saying, I believe you going to the practice tomorrow, right?
I am. I'll be there Wednesday and Thursday. I'm super excited.
Wednesday and Thursday, man. Ain't you lucky, man? Like I said the other day, what are you looking for, man? And what's the most exciting thing this year about? I know you got a lot of new stuff going on. What you think is the most exciting thing about going this year?
So, there's been a lot of different excitement parts of each year because last year we've always been looking for that receiver. But now that we got two young guys that can, turn out to be true number ones, I'm super excited to watch Jalen Polk and Javon Baker out there. I really hope they can become what we want them to be. And they have a great chance to show it, especially with Kendrick Bourne on the PUP, which we can talk about later. But it opens up a lot of opportunity. We got a young receiver group, so I'm super excited to see those two and Kayshon Boutte too, who's only coming into his second year. So I'm super excited for that.
Right, I agree, man. Two number one receivers. I don't know about two number ones, but I definitely think one of them gonna be a one. I can see Pope being a good two. I'm hoping Javon Baker takes that step because you seen when he got hurt I think they reported today there was a thumb fracture, a thumb injury or something like that. So I'm glad it wasn't no soft tissue injury like an ankle or ankle ligament, knee, hamstring, something like that. But I can't wait, man. I want to see what Javon Baker and Jalen Polk and Jaheim Bell are the three rookies I really want to see. They're really the three players I want to see. And then we about to get into the PUP list. I'm sure you got that close to you. With the PUP list, the most notable name is Kendrick Bourne. How do you think that's going to open up for all these other wide receivers? Maybe like a Kayshon Boutte, KJ Osborne, Tyquan Thornton, even Juju Smith-Schuster, who are Jalen Reagor. They're trying to make the roster spot.
Yeah, so I think with the Kendrick Bourne injury, that's one of the veterans that you want on your roster for a younger guy. So I think that opens up the door for a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster to survive training camp and make the team for at least the first 4 weeks. And in doing so, as Pats fans, is you can whatever your opinion is on Juju, you want him to succeed because you want him to be that veteran presence, and you want him to go back to that 1,000-yard season he had with the Chiefs only a couple of years ago. And it opens the door for even guys like Tyquan Thornton and Jalen Reagor, who we think aren't even close, but now that there's a spot open, anything can happen. And Kendrick Bourne, obviously, when he comes back, we know what he can do. He's obviously a lock on this roster. He's a veteran. He's a great leader. But the first 4 weeks, we got an opening at receiver. I think KJ Osborne is a solidified starter on our team now with Kendrick Bourne out for sure. I know people were a little worried about that. I never really was. I thought KJ Osborne was always going to make the team. But now that definitely solidified it. I think he could take over Kendrick Bourne's role for at least the first 4 weeks. But these younger guys, I'm not talking about Pop Douglas, but Boutte, Thornton, even Juju, we can count Reagor. It's a big opportunity for all four of them. And it starts tomorrow.
Yeah, real good point. I think the interesting thing is, I know you said KJ Osborne, you probably can pencil him in as a starter or he's probably going to make the team. But with Bourne being out, if Jalen Polk, he's there, he's probably going to he's probably going to start opposite Pop and whoever else. Javon Baker, this right here is a big practice for him tomorrow and the rest of this week. Kayshon Boutte. If Baker, Boutte, Tyquan Thornton, some of these young guys, if they step up, that could push KJ Osborne down the depth chart off the team. Because then you got these, Elliott Wolf and the company, this new regime, they want to play the younger guys. So if these young guys step up, and KJ Osborne, he has had problem with drops in the past, with the Vikings the last season, and then Camp, I heard he dropped a couple passes. So if Tyquan Thornton, Baker, Boutte, Pope, these young guys can play good, I don't think it's a shoot. I don't think you could just pencil KJ Osborne in to make the team.
Yeah, especially like you said, if the first 4 weeks you see a huge step from Baker and Polk already, and Douglas is looking like a high level number 2, at that point when Kendrick Bourne comes back, KJ Osborne can be our 5th, maybe even 6th guy if Kayshon Boutte can perform how we want him to. And let's just say Juju Smith-Schuster comes back with vengeance, because I've heard Juju's looked healthy and I've heard he's looked solid in camp. I know he had a horrible season last year, and I can't trust his.
I'm rooting for Juju. I'm rooting for Juju Smith-Schuster.
And I can't trust his knees to stay healthy for a full season. But then again, KJ Osborne, it's a big camp for him too. He needs to prove that he is still a solid number 2, 3 wide receiver, especially for a receiving core like us, because there's a lot of opportunity open. We got a lot of guys that can make this team. So it's a big day for a lot of receivers tomorrow. I think the only guys with solidified spots besides Bourne, because he's hurt, are Douglas,
2 rookies.
Polk, and Baker, and that's about it. Rest of the receiving core, wide open.
Sports Academy has getting close to accountable. Yeah, we less than 24 hours. Sports Academy, appreciate it. Hey, make sure if y'all just checking in, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, IG, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever, hit that like button. Or especially if you're on YouTube, hit the like button. Give me the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And make sure if you're on Facebook or any other platform, comment and share the content. Let's go, Joseph. Again, what up, Cam? What's going on with you, Joseph? Getting ready for count tomorrow.
Sure.
Training camp live. Yep. Sports Academy. Let's be honest. Looking forward to seeing Drake. Yeah, I think that's what everybody's looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, that's the easy answer.
Let's see what else we got. Joe, Zappy can pass out Gatorade. I want to see Milton and May sling it.
Yeah,
I want to see Milton and May sling it.
I agree.
This is going to be a big year for Bourne, in my opinion. I can see that, but if he started on PUP, now keep in mind, we're going to get into the PUP list in a minute. Just because you're on PUP don't mean you're going to miss the season or be missing in the game. You're on PUP, you probably couldn't pass a conditioning test, and you're physically unable to perform right now. So he can come off tomorrow. He can come off Friday. He can come off next week. So he can come off that list at any time.
Yeah. But if he starts the season on it come week 1, they're all out for at least 4 weeks, which I think we'll get into that in a second.
Can Juju get back to his Pittsburgh years? I'm rooting for him. Yeah, man. I think. Okay, you remember that? How ironic was it? His biggest game last year was against who? The Steelers. Yep. So if we can get that Juju Smith-Schuster out of him for a good portion of the season, dang, I think we're in a good spot as an offense.
I think Juju thrived off of Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
But Juju was really talented in Pittsburgh, and he came out super young. Like, he's been in the league for a minute, but he's like 27 years old. He's still got time to revamp his career. This is a big camp for Juju.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He should come. I think tomorrow, and don't panic, everybody, in the fans, like in the Twitter and tomorrow, like when you see the depth chart saying KJ Osborne, they probably going to give the veterans the first couple of reps to start.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to see, it's probably going to be KJ Osborne, Juju Smith-Schuster, and probably Pop Douglas. And then they probably going to sub in Pope, Baker, and all like that. But Juju Smith-Schuster, if he can give us what he gave us that game in Pittsburgh last year, give us that, man, that's good. Because then, you're looking at, because basically I was thinking Jalen Polk is your Juju Smith-Schuster replacement. Javon Baker's probably, you're subbing out Devontae Parker for Javon Baker. On KJ Osborne, probably for Taquan Thorne, he's probably not going to make the team. So I think then Pop is going to be Pop if he can ascend from last year. And then Kendrick Bourne still say if he can do what he do. That's a real good core. I'm not saying it's a top 5 core, probably not even going to say a top 10 core, but it's a respectable core. So it all depends on what you can do. And I think anything that this receiver core do this year will be much better than last year.
And Ken, I'm going to go back to a point. You brought up an unbelievable point that people need to understand. When training camp first starts, which is tomorrow, it's early. The veteran guys, even if we know for a fact that they are not nearly as talented as the younger guys, they are always going to start above them in the depth chart. For example, like you said, Baker and Polk, they're probably going to be taking second team reps tomorrow with Drake May for a majority of practice. And Jalen Reagor might even be taking first team reps just because he's a veteran. But fans cannot panic when they see that, because even Drake May, because even some casual fans are going to say, oh, why isn't Drake May, with all these, it's just not going to happen from the first practice. Coach Mayo made it clear today. Coach Mayo said Jacoby Brissett at this moment in time is our starter. That could change in 48 hours.
I'm glad you mentioned that about Mayo comments there. I forgot all about that. Real quick, before you end that, what do you think of the what do you think that meant today, based off? Because me and you shared it and we posted it today. Yeah. What do you think about that?
So I think Mayo's handling the questions really well, because he's leaving the door open for a lot of things, but he's also giving his truthful answer. He said, right now, Jacoby Brissett's our starter, but he left the door open for Drake May to come in and overtake that spot. He didn't just completely say, yeah, Drake's going to sit for this year, he's not ready. He said if Drake comes out and balls out in training camp, and this is basically what he said, he could start by week 1. And that's what we've been saying. If they're here, you start Brissett. If it's like this, you start May. I don't care how old he is, how much you have to start. We're not like we said, we want to rebuild because we're fans, These guys are pros, man. They want to win. So you play who plays better in training camp. And that's basically what Mayo's saying. And I love his comments. And I think as of right now, I agree with them. Before training camp, Brissett is your starter going into week 1. Again, that could change in a week.
And what he said Jacoby Brissett is the most pro-ready. What Of course he's the most pro-ready. He's been in the league for about 10 years. So of course, they're not just going to see if they would have gave Drake May the start position automatically, then everybody would say, oh, they're just giving it to him or what, there's no competition. No, you gotta earn it. Like Jacoby said earlier, there's no scholarships anymore. You got to earn it. So they're not just going to you make them work for it. So I would say give them to about the past. Okay, tomorrow they're going to do like some light work. It's going to be like an extension of mini camp OTAs tomorrow.
Yeah.
They really ain't going to get into real football, like real padded football, to about the middle of next week. So we probably got another week before they get into pass, and that's when you really can determine. And I'm not saying just to ignore what happens tomorrow the rest of the week. They're going to do for contact. It's going to be contact, but it's not going to be like when the pass on the whatnot. Because we're like 2 weeks away from the first preseason game in Carolina. Against the Panthers. So it's plenty of time. So I say by the end of next week, just see what you're hearing on Drake May and whatnot, just for the fans. Everybody, look what you're hearing, and you should see a lot of good. He should be making a lot of positive strides by then. Because if he keeps up what he did in minicamp, I think we're like 6 weeks from the season, from the start. I know we're a little over a month. I think May start in week 1. And like Mayo said today, Drake May, we said this on the podcast too, he has to outright blow Brissett away to start. That's what he said. And I think he should be doing that. I think he should blow him away. Brissett's not. He's not the future. Nobody. He signed a 1-year deal. So that tells you right there, he's just a band-aid. He's a stopgap. He's not nothing long term. So May got to come. Drake May has to come in with the mindset, I'm a number 3 overall pick. This is my job, and he had to go get it. He's going to throw some interceptions. He's going to throw some passes of 10 yards away from the receiver. That's going to happen. But I read those problems happen and count in the real game.
Yeah, this is where I agree with your points too, because like if you're a true football fan and you're just actually, I'll start with this. If you're just a casual football fan, you'll throw a game on here and there. And if you're at training camp, you see Drake May overthrow Jalen Polk by 10 yards. You're gonna think, oh, this kid's a bust immediately. That's not how it works.
Especially the Boston media.
Yeah, exactly. We've talked about this. Peyton Manning's rookie year was a disaster, like a complete disaster. He threw like 25 interceptions, I think. It's not going to be all smooth. That's not how it works. The kid is 21 years old. He's still a kid, and he's playing against grown men. He's playing against grown men who are ready to just like go every game, and they've been doing it for a while, especially with all the veterans on our defense. So it's going to take time, but it would not surprise me if Drake May blows Jacoby Brissett away too, because the talent, it's not even close. Drake May is more talented than probably.
If it's just physically, and I think Mayo said earlier, like it's not going to be about the offensive line, the receivers, or not. It's about what quarterback looks the best and prepares the best. It doesn't care about the offensive line, the receivers, or whatnot. So it's not going to be based off of what they're working with. It's who throws the ball better and who does things physically. Because if me and you go outside and we're looking at both these guys, we don't know them from a can of paint. Which guy looks better throwing the ball? The eye test is going to say Drake May, because he has all the physical to the whatnot.
Yeah.
I think Brissett's just going to be sturdy. He's not going to turn over, but he's not going to make the wild plays either. The safest pick will probably go with Brissett. But like I said, it all depends on what the goal is for week 1. Do we want to win games or are we trying to develop? So, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was just going to get to, and it's a great point. The talent's not even close. Drake May is already more talented than 10 quarterbacks in football. He's probably more talented than Tua Tagovailoa, but that's not what it's all about. It's being pro-ready, and Coach Mayo brought that up. It has to be who looks more pro-ready. If, like you said, we go out there and watch Drake May and Jacoby Brissett throw out in a driveway, Drake May is going to look 20 times better than Jacoby Brissett. We're gonna think Brissett's like a Canadian Football League player, but if you watch them play against a true NFL defense, which is what we have, and someone commented about that, we'll get to that in a second, Jacoby Brissett might just be a little bit more pro-ready than that.
Comment, Sports Academy, where did you guys see the Pats D ranking this year? I think they're going to be top 10. They got Gonzalez come back this year, Marcus Jones, Jonathan Jones, added some depth in the offseason. I want to see what Amon Watts does from Pittsburgh. See what he needs some more pass rush in the inside. I think top 10. Not going to say top 5, but top 10, especially if they get Judon and Gottstar back happy.
I think we're going to be around the 6 to 8 range, and it's great reports we're hearing about Judon and Gotcha. They're both at training camp, which is awesome. Thank God.
Maybe they reward them for showing up.
Yes, and they better because that's a big deal if they showed up. What was I gonna say? I think this is a big year for Keon White. I think he could have a big
Yeah,
camp, big
breakout. That's
year.
my breakout player.
He needs to have a big year because I love as much as our defense is good. We are a little weak interior on the defense after Godshaw and Barmore, and I think Keon White can be that next guy up.
Nathan Cabral, what do you guys think of the Patriots hiring Slater as a special assistant? I think he's good. Him and Mayo very close. He's been around the team for a while. And Mayo's a young coach. There's a lot of newness going on, so I think it's good keeping Slater in house and getting him a role. He's basically a special assistant. So I think you can never have too many assistants on one thing. I think, especially to a first year coach.
I like it. You brought up a good point. He's been around the team forever. He played with Gerard Mayo. And he's a player's guy. Everyone on the team knows Matthew Slater, so I think it's a great move.
Joseph says Slater. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from preseason gets the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, Panthers, I believe. Yep. Question: over under in you guys' opinion of May starts?
It's a good question.
Good question. Real good question. Well, let me see. You go first.
I'm gonna say the over/under's probably like right around like half, like 8.5. I'm gonna say I'll probably take.
I'll take the over.
I'm gonna take the over too. I think he's gonna start week 1 if you ask me. But if not, I think he'll be in by week. We talked about this probably by like week 5 or 6. I think he'll be in. So
I'm hoping he's there by week 8. I think that's the game with the Jets. I hope he's playing because I'm.
Oh yeah. That's you're going to that one.
Yeah, I hope he's playing by then, man. Nathan, how would you guys feel about signing Aiyuk, and where would you rank our wide receiver core after signing him? Another good question. I think we talked about this last week. We'll get into it again. I wouldn't mind Aiyuk because we do need a number 1, but I'm not even sure if he is that because with all those weapons they got in San Francisco, he is trying to get his way out of there. So, I mean, I don't know. My only problem with it is he's going to take snaps away from the young guy. Give me a couple weeks. Give me a couple preseason games or just – I mean, you still got the NFL trade deadline like October, I think, November. So let's give me like preseason training camp and by the first half of the season, see what we got at wide receiver first. Because the receiver position, it's either you got it or you don't. And I think you will know early if a receiver can play. You don't need 2 years to see if a wide receiver can play. You don't need that. You would know that. You would know that like tomorrow, like in practice. So I think let's see what Baker, Pope does, how Pop respond this year. And then we kind of unsure. I think we should go ahead and make a trade for Brennan Aiyuk. I think that some people I was like, hey, play the young guys this year, take the bumps, take the brothers, then go ahead and make your big fish trade next year. So you can look at it either way, but how you feel about that?
So if the Pats traded for Aiyuk right now, it's 752. They immediately have a top 15 receiving core, maybe right around there, and that's
what us not even knowing what Polk and Baker is yet.
Yeah, and I personally think he's the one. I just think he has a lot. His talent is incredible. The one thing that bothers me with him, and it kind of started this offseason, he kind of has like the Kyrie Irving almost attitude. He kind of has he's kind of a diva a little bit. I haven't really loved how he's handled the San Francisco situation, but all that aside, I'm going to be completely honest. I would love getting Brandon Aiyuk. I think it would only help the younger guys develop. But we said this, and we can move on to the PUP after this. If you trade for him, you have to extend him immediately. You cannot use him for a rental for 1 year. We're not winning the Super Bowl.
No, yeah. Guys, too. I'm going to see. Last question for me. Offensive rookie. Hey, no. Keep asking them. Keep asking. You ain't asked enough questions. Keep asking them. Last question for me, offensive rookie of the year, Harrison Jr. or Caleb Williams. I'm going to go Caleb Williams based off what's around him. I mean, when have we ever known a rookie quarterback to come in to a team with this much talent around him? DJ Moore in the slot, or probably outside, Roman Dunze. Then they got Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet. They got Swift from the Eagles. I think they redid the offensive line a little bit, so the offensive line will be a little better. Caleb Williams can move. I think it should be Williams, though. I think Williams wins rookie of the year.
So I'm going to go Harrison, and the only reason I'm going to go that right now is because I think he's just a safer pick because Marvin Harrison is immediately going to be an 1,000-yard receiver for Arizona, 100%. Just because they don't have the number 2 receiver right now. If you're not counting McBride, he's a tight end. It's Greg Dortch, and he's like a low-end receiver 3.
They got what's the wide receiver they got? He was with the Jaguars, and he was with the Bills.
Did they get Zay Jones?
Zay Jones. Yeah, I think he's a 2 or 3, like you said though.
Yeah,
So yeah, still.
the Harrison is going to take a lot. He's going to get a lot of targets. He'll probably get 120, 30 targets this year. I think Caleb has a higher ceiling to win it, but I think the safer Florida pick is Harrison just because he's going to get so many targets.
Right.
So I got the
Joe
PUP
says I
right.
already hate Kelly. So I hate Kelly Williams and the Bears.
Yeah, I don't like them either. I want to
Go
beat
ahead,
them.
stats.
I want to beat the Bears so bad. I just wanted to go over the PUP really quick. So talked about Bourne. It is a tough loss, but I like what we got going right now. Cole Strange,
Not surprising.
yeah, no, and he's a slightly above average guard in my opinion, but I don't think I think more of our worries at offensive line are at the left tackle position. So I think we can recover from that. Obviously, having Cole Strange would help a lot. But I like City Sal. I like Layden Robinson from Texas A&M. I think those two can, make a good duo. And if Michael Wenu moves back to tackle, like he might.
Do you think Leonard Robinson will start some games this year? I mean, he's a guard, and it's already we got So and probably a Wenu or whoever's going to be the other guard. So I don't know if Leonard Robinson going to start this year.
So if Wenu starts a tackle, then I think Layden Robinson definitely plays this year. At least starts a couple games. But if Wenu goes back to guard, I don't know if Layden Robinson plays a lot. I don't know if he plays a lot of snaps this year.
So if he starts at tackle, then Caden Wallace wouldn't start at he wouldn't start at all. It'd just be Chucks, So, Andrews, Robinson, Owenu, I guess.
Well, I don't know if Chucks has the edge over
Caden.
We're gonna have to wait and see. Right now, he probably does, just because he has more under his belt, obviously. But come training camp preseason, Caden Wallace can absolutely take that spot from him. But right now, that offensive line prediction you said right now, I agree with. And then we got Sione Takitaki, which in my opinion is the biggest loss out of all of them. If he doesn't play come week 1, I think he will. I haven't heard much about his injury. I think it's a tissue thing. I could be wrong. But I think it's from last season. I think he'll get taken off, but we'll see. I love Takitaki. Him, Tavai, and Bentley would be great, but if he has to miss the first 4 games, we can survive with Bentley and Tavai. I love those two. And then obviously if you move
Marte, then we got Mapu. Yeah,
I was just gonna say if you move Marte and Mapu there, you got solid edge rushes if Judon plays. But I would love to see Takitaki start the year healthy, just because I love that guy. I think he's super fun to watch. And then the last one is Jake Andrews, backup center. I think that's one of the doors that is open now, because if David Andrews, God forbid, does get hurt, you don't really have Jake Andrews was the next guy up. He has been since last year.
That's a under the radar Andrew nobody's talking about.
Yep. I think that kid Charles Turner is going to make the team, actually, just for a backup center. That's what I've heard, at least. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
The one that sticks out, Kendrick Bourne, I think we kind of knew that because he tore his ACL last year in November. Yeah. Takitaki, not really surprising because he didn't do anything in the offseason program or whatnot. He didn't do enough. Yeah. Jake Andrew, then Antonio Gibson, he's on the NFL list, so it's non-football injury, I guess. I don't know what that is, but I'm not really too worried.
I think Gibson will be fine.
He probably one of the first ones to come off any list or whatnot.
Yeah. Because
like I
know Gibson was doing a lot of off-season work. I've seen clips of him, so I'm not too worried about Gibson. It's more the other 4 that I know Cole Strange probably is going to miss the first 8 games of the season. That's just what I think.
Yeah. If not all the season.
Yeah, maybe. And then Kendrick Bourne tore his ACL at a really awkward time last year, like week 8, I think.
I actually I don't like the injury, but I like the fact he's up there because it gives the younger guys more opportunities to shine or whatnot and more opportunities to step up. Because if Bourne would have played, it would have slocked them down a little bit. So I actually like the fact that he's on, because why rush him back for there's no point. We still a little over a month to the season. So I think a lot of those names they'll come off besides Cole Strange.
Yeah, I think Kendrick Bourne's going to definitely start on the PUP. He'll probably miss the first 4 games, but I think he'll be ready for week 5. Takitaki could probably get taken off. And then Jake Andrews, we'll see about him. I think Cole Strange is probably the biggest injury concern out of all 5 of those guys for sure.
Why does Caleb remind me of Lonzo Ball? First time I ever heard that.
Like a
Caleb, you
pretty.
remind him of, huh?
I think it's a good comparison because his Caleb's dad's kind of reminded me of LeVar a little bit. So
Oh yeah. So I mean, I don't got too
obviously
much to say about.
Caleb's a much better player than Lonzo Ball, but
I'm not the biggest Lonzo Ball fan either, so I ain't got too much to say on that. This is a very tough year for Coach Mayo. If he loses game one, it would be interesting to see how he rebounds in game two. What are your thoughts? That's my thing. We did our schedule prediction that show the other night. I got us losing Cincinnati closely, but winning, bouncing back, winning against Seattle. I think he's probably in store for some early season. I mean, I want us to get out to a quick start. Last couple of years, we lost our last three like opening games, whether it's home or away. So I think if we can get out to a quick start, upset Cincinnati, do something with Seattle, then go from there, that's big right there. But I want to know what you think about them. I think, like I said, this is a traditional building a foundation year for the Patriots this year. Don't no expectations. So when you don't have no expectation, you should exceed expectations because a lot of people can catch you out and you're not going to be that good. So I mean, I think the win total from Vegas is 4.5 wins. I think they go over that. And I think you could throw a parade. That's good because it's better than last year.
yeah, I think Seattle's a really good game to have to rebound against because they're shaky. Obviously, playing in Cincinnati week one's a tough game, but we've talked about it. It's a winnable game for sure. They're shaky. Their defense isn't anything special. Obviously, they got Joe Burrow, but he's coming back from a up and down season. Coming off injury. He was injured like the whole year. So who knows there? T. Higgins doesn't seem happy over there, and neither does
Jamar Chase got a contract.
Yeah, Trey Henderson doesn't seem happy either. So they got a lot of issues over there. I wouldn't be surprised if we sneak away with that one, but if we don't, I think Seattle's a good team to have week 2 at home to rebound against, and I think that'll be a good game for Coach Mayo to get his first win under.
And that's what I want to see, man. Early in the season, how he respond to adversity, losses, a player make a bad play. Does he sit him on the sideline like Belichick used to do, or like Demario Douglas fumbled last year? We didn't see Demario Douglas to next week or whatnot against Miami. So I don't think Mayo do that. He's more of a play. He's more of a young guy. I don't think he'll do it like that. So, but I want to see like late game, 2-minute warning situations, challenge situation. When you go throw a challenge flag, who you gonna sub in, who you gonna like just the game day roster availability. There's a lot of things that go into coaching besides just standing on the sideline. So I can't wait to see that from Coach Mayo, man. Because we know Belichick, he's a veteran of the game, the greatest coach of all time. He knew what to do. He could give it the answer he already knew. So I think that's what I want to see. Like it's the small things I want to see from Mayo.
Yeah, and one last thing I'll add about Coach Mayo is today he got interviewed and asked about the Ayuk thing, and I love his answer to this too. He didn't just specifically say, I would love Ayuk. He said any player that is available that'll upgrade or help the team out, they will always attempt to bring in, which I think is an incredible answer. I think he's answering these questions very well because he's answering them very open-ended. He's not just being specific. Oh yeah, we're going for Ayuk. He's leaving the door open.
Or talking or answering a question like Belichick.
Yeah, or that, which is but.
Some people like how he's answering questions and some people don't. Some people think he's talking too much. I've seen a lot of comments, a lot of big time reporters in the areas like, hey, they think he's giving too much. They kind of miss Bill how he used to respond to whatnot. So I love how Bill talked and whatnot. You don't be very private, don't give nobody nothing. That way your opponent don't know anything. But I think sometimes you can talk too much. And I think Mayo, he does say too much because some of the things he said, he's been saying all season like burning cash and doing. Belichick would have never said that.
Yeah.
Now it's a changing of times and whatnot, and us younger people we do like it, but sometimes I think you can talk too much.
The only thing is with that is we're just so used to Belichick not saying anything.
Yeah,
so I feel like
so it's different.
I feel like anything Mayo says, people will say it's too much. But I definitely do see what you're saying though with the burning cash and all that. But I just, as of recent, with the question, he's got some tough questions to answer with the situation we're in. Are you going to start Drake May? Are you going to bring in weapons? I think he answered those questions fairly well. So those are the questions I was happy about. Early on, I didn't love how he answered the questions too. I agree. But that was his first month as a coach. So he was, kind of just jumping right in. I think he's maturing. It's only been like 6 months, but he's already shown growth in every aspect.
Jake Cabral, pump for training camp. Hey, we are too. Nathan Cable, do you think Kendrick Bourne out for the first 4 weeks could be crucial at all? Depending on how you look at it, man. Are we trying to win games or just want to look good and look better than last year, develop some players? So me personally, I wouldn't mind because I want to see the young guys. I really want to see the young guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it crucial just because we got a lot of, like Tom Currency, we got a lot of B's, like a lot of like C plus B minuses. Kendrick
Some
Bourne
people don't
might
even think we got a B.
yeah, Kendrick Bourne might be a slightly better than that. I think he's right with Pop in like the B range, if we want to call it that. But it's just better opportunity. By week 5, if Kendrick Bourne comes back, Jalen Polk could be a top 20 receiver in football. He could have gone off the first 4 weeks. Who knows? No one can predict that, or they could have done nothing, and we really needed Kendrick Bourne back. So it's gonna come with time.
I agree, Joe.
We're gonna have to see with Polk.
I agree, Joe, that they'll survive no Kendrick. But I don't think it's the end of the world if Kendrick Bourne is not there. I mean, I'm not the biggest Bourne fan. I'm not gonna say he's overrated, but I don't think it's the end of the world we don't have Kendrick Bourne week 1.
Yeah. I like Kendrick Bourne's personality and what he brings to the locker room. I like his leadership abilities, and I like how he stuck with Belichick for 3 years because 2022 he got benched. He barely played that year, and he still stuck through it. Still signed another 3-year deal with us. So I have a lot of respect for Kendrick Bourne, but as a player, he's a solid receiver, but he's not a crucial loss for the first 4 weeks of the season.
Joseph said Gibson kind of wild card. For me. I love that Antonio Gibson signed. I think it's very underrated. Nobody's talking about that one. Kind of reminds me of like a bigger James White. You can throw in the ball the backfield, can run between tackles. He can run out the cake, he can do a lot, run good routes. He's more than just a runner. He can run receiver route. He can go deep. He can do a lot. I've seen a lot of his highlights, a lot of his film. I really like that signing or whatnot. Very underrated, man. So hopefully whatever he's working through, he's on the NFL list. He can hurry up and get off that. But I like that sign. He could be a nice check down guy for Drake, Major Cooper, whoever's on the center.
Absolutely. I have nothing else to say. It's perfectly said.
We have been beyond forgotten about, totally playing with house money, my opinion. Yeah, just go out there and play. You ain't expected to do anything, just play. And that's when teams play their best, when nobody's talking about them. No expectation, just go out there and play.
Absolutely.
At least we know one thing for sure. Post-game interviews just went up 1,000% as far as entertainment value. Yeah, because you're actually going to get some answers now.
Yep.
You're going to actually get some answers now. So it's going to be very interesting to see. If y'all just checking it, hit the like button on YouTube, Facebook, share the content, comment on YouTube. Please hit that like button. Give me the thumbs up, man. If y'all would check me out later on, do the same thing. One other thing, Hunter Henry. We haven't really talked about him a lot. What do you expect from him this year? I actually think he's not going to get a lot of attention because last year he had an underwhelming season, but a lot of that could be made about the bad quarterback play that we got. So now he's probably going to be like your 4th or 5th option because you look at Pop, if Bourne plays, the rookies, the Ramondre, Gibson, like it's a lot of people that's in front of him now. So Hunter Henry really not going to be accounted for a lot, maybe just in the red zone. Actually, that Hunter Henry's going to have a solid year, a bounce back year. I think him and Drake May going to click early.
Well, Hunter Henry has always been a safety blanket for our quarterbacks. I feel like every time it's like a 3rd and 7 situation, he's always open in the flat or in the middle. I think Hunter Henry is good for a young quarterback that Drake May is. So I think Hunter Henry's going to be really huge for us this year. And he was the best tight end in the market, and he decided to come back to play for us. So I'm super looking forward to watching him play again.
Going to be very interesting to see, man. Man, hey, what time will you be out tomorrow for camp? I know you can't wait, man.
Be there at 8:45 a.m. Front row field seats. I'm gonna be right there.
So the camp starts at 11, but you're gonna be there early.
Oh yeah, you got to if you want to get front row seats, which I get every time. So
how's the weather gonna be tomorrow?
It'll be cloudy, which is good because you're not baking in the sun all day. But it's not supposed to rain, so we'll be good.
Man, I cannot wait, man. Just like, cause I know you're going were you very close last year? So you're gonna have like up close. Man, hey, make sure you keep me posted on everything looking, man.
Oh, I'll send pictures and everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We in there, man. Joseph says, let me see. Great job as always, boy. Hey, appreciate it, Joseph.
Thank you.
Let me see. Henry is very safe. I agree. Yep. Red zone Henry. I think he'll be pretty good.
Absolutely.
Sports Academy. Let's to you guys. Talk Pats. Appreciate it, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button on YouTube or wherever y'all at. Make sure you share the content, man. Very early. Yep. Appreciate it, man. Hey, training camp tomorrow is at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. I won't be there, but Pats will be there. He's gonna be sending me some stuff. We will be going live again tomorrow night, same time, 7:30. Make sure you check us out, man. I really appreciate all of y'all, man. We won't be able to do this without y'all. I appreciate it. Hey, if y'all want to check me out later on, hit the like button, share the content wherever you at, Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, Twitter. Share the content, comment, especially on YouTube. I need them likes to go up a little more. Hit the like, support on Pat Status on Instagram. He got it right there in the tag or whatnot. Show his patient love. Follow him. And this is not my show, this is our show. So we're going to bring y'all some more content tomorrow night, recapping the first day of practice. So we have a lot more bigger show tomorrow because we're going to recap. And we'll probably be on the rest of the week too, all the counting days. But hey, I appreciate it for me, Stats. Y'all have a good one, man.
Yep, you too. Can't wait to start actually seeing some football tomorrow and being able to recap this.